The Mongol Empire, written by David L. Dreyer. Focus question. How did Genghis Khan rise to power and what became the Mongol Empire after his death? Words to know. Alliances, archaeologists, bastion, dynasties, empire, fragmenting, havoc, isolation, nomadic, plundered, tribute, vassal states. Tables of contents. The Mongol Empire. 4. Horsemen and warriors. 5. Genghis Khan. 6. The Mongols attacked China. 8. The Mongol armies. 9. The use of terror. 11. Establishing a new an empire. 12. New leaders, new conquests. 12. Kublai Khan. 16. Division of the empire. 19. End of the Mongol rule. 21. Influence of the Mongols. 22. Glossary. 24. The Mongol people during the 1200s were nomadic Mongol people from East Asia established the largest land empire ever created. The Mongol Emperor was born on many tribes working together under the leadership of Genghis Khan. At its height, the empire spanned Europe and Asia, lasting from 1206 to 1368. This allowed the exchange of trade, technology, goods, and ideas. Horsemen and warriors. The Mongols were nomadic people, numbering perhaps 2 million. They lived in felt tents called yurts in the enormous steppes of the grasslands of northeast Asia, which today is known as Mongolia. The people were divided into groups called tribes with a leader called a Khan. The Mongols were experts, horse riders, and warriors. Hunting and fighting with other clans as part of their lifestyle. Fighting was necessary because resources were scarce, and livestock needed plenty of grass and water. Mongol tribes traveled far frequently to find these resources. Genghis Khan. In 1162, the wife of Mongol chieftain noble lineage gave birth to a boy named Temujin. He was 9. Temujin's father was murdered by Tartars, the Turkish group. Most of Temujin's youth was spent helping his family survive. Without his father, the harsh environment of the Mongol steppes. By the time he was on his teens, Temujin was shown great intelligence and leadership skills, so ruthless in defeating his enemies. As an adult, Temujin became the Khan of his tribe. As Khan, he made alliances with other Mongol tribes. Then he built an army and trained to be a disciplined war machine. Finally, he used his army to defeat every one of the Mongol tribes that would not want to join. What was his title? The leader Mongols usually called Genghis Khan. However, in the first part of the title has been long been spelled several ways, including Genghis, and Genghis. In recent years, they say better spelling is Chinggis or Chinggis. The meaning of the title has also been debated. Although many scholars think the name meant universal ruler, others disagree. It suggested other meanings, such as invincible prince or spirit of light. By 1206, Mongols recognized Temujin as their leader. At the meeting that year, The leaders of the Mongol tribe claim him Genghis Khan, which means universal ruler. One of his first actions as ruler, Genghis issued a set of laws designed to make the Mongols stop fighting and become single joint nation. Genghis Khan established a military government that led the Mongols to conquer other lands. And so in 1209, he led forces towards China. The Mongols attacked China. At the time of Genghis Khan's rise to power, China was divided into three major parts: the Shishiya, the Emperor of the West, and the Jin Empire of the North, and the Song Dynasty of the South. Genghis Khan conquered Shishiya in 1209. He then attacked Jin in 1215 after his ferocious battle of many left Chinese people dead. The Mongol army returned to Jin capital, Jiangdu, a present-day Beijing. They plundered it and left it to smoking ruins. All of China except the Song dynasty was now under Mongol control. But Genghis Khan decided that the conquest of the Song could wait. Instead, he turned his eye toward the vast land west end of China. Seeking wealth, his armies would soon create havoc in that part of the world. The Mongols' army. In the following years, the Mongols defeated every army they faced. They broke into every city that tried to defend against them, conquering enormous territories. So what made the Mongol army so overwhelming? Although Mongols' armies were big, they weren't gigantic. They usually totaled around 100,000. The maximum size of armies has been estimated for 250,000. For most battles, the Mongol forces were often divided, attacking widely separated enemies, which caused them to be greatly outnumbered. But they always won. Historians believe the Mongols were unbeatable because they were well-trained and disciplined soldiers. Also used clever planning and advanced military technology for the time. The army was first used tactics such as shooting arrows from the back of moving horse. Soldiers lived off the land, which helped the armies move fast without supply trains. In open combat, the Mongols fought on horseback. They wore leather armor and helmets made of leather and metal. One of their main weapons was a small, powerful bow that could fire arrows with great force and accuracy. For close combat, they used lances, battle axe, and short curved swords called scimitars. They used gunpowder weapons such as simple grenade and fire launchers. Bamboo tubes spewed flames and sparks. The Mongols did not learn how to make gunpowder from the Chinese. They also learned how to smash down the walls of cities. They hired Chinese engineers to build and operate large machines called siege engines. These devices include catapults for hurling heavy rocks and ballistas that fire huge arrows. No city able to withstand the pounding it got from the Mongol siege engines. The use of terror. Genghis Khan always tried to make a deal with the places he conquered. This is what his offer: surrender and you will be spared, resist and you will be wiped out. City has opened its gates to Mongols was left unharmed, but simply required to pay Mongols tribute. Wealth and what Genghis Khan wanted the most. Get without fight and suited with fine. Cities that tried to hold but behind their walls or what sent soldiers out to fight, punished. The Mongol army broke in and pillaged the city and burned it to the ground. The Mongols took out any inhabitants thought might be useful to them. They killed everyone else. This policy created widespread terror. As a result, many cities surround the Mongols at once. Establishing an empire. For a dozen of years after China's campaign, the Mongolians conquered everything in their path. Mongol armies were not led by Genghis Khan, but also by his four sons. By the 1227, Genghis Khan turned 65. The Mongols established an empire. It stretched from the east coast of northern China to the Persian Gulf, the western boundary of present-day Iran. That was the distance about 5,600 kilometers, 3,500 miles across the vast area. Vassal states paid tribute to every year to Mongols. There would be more conquests, making the empire even larger, but Genghis Khan would not take part in them. His days were about coming to an end.